God intended sex for the purpose of procreation. Now, despite what some people teach, he didn't intend for sex to be only for procreation. I mean, the command that was given to Adam and Eve was to make babies. I mean, sex was the physical act that God used to populate the earth with more people made in his image. And we know that that's still a purpose for sex. From Adam and Eve into this modern era, sex has been used to populate the earth, to bring more people into the world. Of course, we don't have children just because we believe in procreation. We have children because we want to love and to nourish and cherish this gift of life that God has granted us. We have children because we love them. But there are some who would love more than anything to have children, but unfortunately, they are unable to. Unfortunately, also, some make the claim that God has cursed them, that for some reason God has not allowed them to have children, and it's a punishment of some kind. Folks, I believe that's absolutely ridiculous, and it's sad that anybody would make that comment. I know of couples that have found fulfillment in adoption. I know couples that are suffering mightily because they want to have children, but they're not able to, and that's not their fault. Due to circumstances beyond their control, they're unable to bear children. That doesn't mean that they have failed God or failed his purpose. I think some religious folks that argue for that are not really understanding all the purposes for sex, and I think they're wrong theologically. I mean, that's just simply not true. If procreation were the only reason that God designed sex, then why did he design sex in the manner that he did? I mean, think about it. We are really the only creation that has sex face to face. Humans are really primarily the only mammals that have sex face to face. So if God wanted procreation to be the only reason for sex, then, I mean, why didn't he have us just stare into each other's eyes for like 5 minutes or maybe just handshake? I mean, he could have found any method to make procreation work. But as it stands, when you think about it, human beings, really the only mammals that have sex face to face. Why is that? Why did God create sex like that for us? Just anatomically speaking, without looking at Scripture, one can see that there's a deeper purpose for sex. And you see glimpses of this in the Song of Solomon. And yes, we're allowed to read Song of Solomon. But if you look at notice chapter 7, starting in verse 1, it says, "How beautiful are your feet in sandals, O prince's daughter. The curves of your hips are like jewels, the work of the hands of an artist. Your navel is like a round goblet, which never lacks mixed wine. Your belly is like a heap of wheat, fenced about with lilies. Your two breasts are like two fawns, twins of a gazelle. Your neck is like a tower of ivory, your eyes like the pools in Heshbon. By the gate of Bath Rabbim, your nose is like the tower of Lebanon, which faces towards Damascus. Your head crowns you like Carmel, and the flowing locks of your head are like purple threads. The king is captivated by your tresses. How beautiful and how delightful you are, my love, with all your charms." So guys, next time you're being romantic with your wife, try whispering in her ear, "Your belly is like a heap of wheat." See how far that gets you. Or try telling her that her nose is like the Tower of Lebanon. Telling her that your words are God-breathed or come from Scripture probably won't help your matter. But it makes you wonder if there is some lost sequel to the Song of Solomon somewhere describing his death as a result of some of these compliments. But if nothing else, Song of Solomon exposes the biblical truth that sex is not only for the purpose of procreation. Sex is also for recreation. I think the Bible suggests this. If you've ever read through Song of Solomon, you see that it's describing in very vivid terms the sexual experience between a husband and a wife, and it goes so much deeper than just conceiving a child. Notice verses 7 through 9. Your stature is like a palm tree, and your breasts are like its clusters. I said, I will climb the palm tree. I will take hold of its fruit stalks. Oh, may your breasts be like clusters of the vine, and the fragrance of your breath like apples, and your mouth like the best wine. It goes down smoothly for my beloved, flowing gently through the lips of those who fall asleep. Talk about wiggling and squirming when you read something, right? But he starts at her feet and he works his way up. That's what's happening here. In a very tender way, he's exploring and enjoying every square inch of her body. God did not intend for sex to be a mechanical exercise for the sole purpose of producing a child. He meant for sex to be enjoyed, and he meant for sex to be a pleasurable experience.